So, back in December 2025, on December 30th, at 7:30 or maybe 9, I'm actually wrong for that. I went to Cartersville, Georgia, which was 60 miles away from me, and it's 44 miles north of Atlanta. And I decided to go there because I wanted to see some operations on the CSX Etowa subdivision. And I wanted to go to Industrial Park Road Northeast Railroad crossing close to CSX's Wyvern Yard. And as you can see, the railroad crossing is right next to it with a classic mechanical bell. But those bells are my favorite, to be honest. With two tracks separated, which I thought it was heading southbound. And it was CSX C309. But I thought it was C309, but I never realized I was wrong. And it turns out it was actually CSX E309. Originated from Stylesboro, Georgia, headed to Martin, Kentucky. And if it was heading south, the defect detector at milepost 375.6 at Chatsworth would go off. So this is where I went to. And I went to the railroad crossing close to Wyvern Yard, which can be seen in the circle. And I was actually so wrong saying it was heading south, but it was actually heading north. Because if it was heading north, the defect detector at milepost 47.4 would go off.
CSX equipment defect detector, milepost 47.4. No defects.
And if it was heading south, the defect detector at Chatsworth, Georgia would go off like this.
CSX equipment defect detector, milepost 375.6. No defects.
And now here's a photograph I took on my camera device positioned back in Cartersville at the exact location, milepost 418.06 at the Industrial Park Road Northeast Railroad crossing. Close by, you can observe CSX's Wyvern Yard, situated on the CSX Etowah subdivision. Moreover, both of the signals for her southbound trains were set to red, indicating a danger signal, which means E309 was headed towards the same track, which you could see as headlights clearly visible behind the southbound track signals in the distance. Like at this point, I'm so wrong of which direction E309 was heading. I thought it was heading south. If it was headed south, it would be towards Cartersville. And if it was north, it would be out of Cartersville. Which means the defect detector at milepost 47.4, like I said before, would go off, which means the train is heading north. And like I said, for the 100th time, the defect detector at Chatsworth, Georgia at milepost 375.6 would go off, which would tell you it's heading south. Alright, now I'm going to stop yapping.